I like to break down my life into two categories. Have fun, work hard. Maybe a couple more other categories, but it sounds cool when I say that. Have fun, work hard. I was faced with a challenge. Fiance to fiance. Sarah challenged me. One day we came home from the cottage. I think it was Friday. Ton of rain. Water came in to the basement, aka the studio. And I was faced with a challenge. Either man up, fix it, or keep coming home and laying out towels and mops and soaking it up every single time.
Dehumidifier for like 12 hours.
It smells, a little moist basement. Everyone listening or knows what that smells like. So she put down the gauntlet. Fiance to fiance. She went upstairs. I sat down here in the basement by myself in the dark, and I thought about it for a minute. And this is a time where, I'm not saying I'm not a man. I am a man. But these are the moments where men come alive. So I sit, I think. You go, Justin, what kind of man are you? Are you a man that's going to sit here and not come up with a solution? Or are you going to be the type of man that just lets it keep happening and you're going to have to keep sweeping, mopping, getting the dehumidifier up? And I made the right decision. I said, I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to come up with a solution. And I know we posted a video a couple of weeks ago, people saying put a sub pump in, it'll get all the water out. And I finally took those people's advice and I manned up and I did it. Was it fun? No. I had to dig a hole that was about 2 feet deep to install the sub pump in the rain, in the mud. Got a little mud on the tires. What's that song? Get a little mud on the tire. Like,
yeah,
Brett,
I think you
that's
got
a
it.
song.
Yeah.
So I got a little mud on the tire because it was wet. Dug 2 feet deep, but eventually got it done. I think I posted a picture about it on our Instagram.
Yeah. You had the mud wipe on the face, kind of the rough and tough blue collar look going to you.
Put a little mud on the tire. Yeah. So it was a muddy day. Neighbors walking by looking at me. Like, isn't that the guy that does the podcast? Why is he working with his hands? I'm not afraid to get a little dirty.
It was a solo job?
Yeah. There's boulders down there, rocks. I don't know if you've ever dug in Nova Scotia, but as soon as you go a foot down, it's all rock. So I'm lifting boulders, rocks. I'm cutting myself. I'm pulling muscles. I'm rain. People think I'm crying, but it's just rain coming down my face. Mud all over the house. Just grinding through this.
Show must go on.
And eventually it was time to put in the sub pump. Put it in, installed it, dug out a drain. I'm not going to go over the details of what it takes to put in. All good?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the details of what it takes to install a sub pump, but no, it's pretty much impossible and only few can do it, and just know that I did do it. That's not actually true. Anyone can do it. But once it was complete, you look at it and you go, okay, you get some sense of satisfaction. You go, okay, I did it, sure. But you're not truly satisfied until Mother Nature herself comes and tests you and that sub pump out.
Mm-hmm.
Me and the sub pump had a couple conversations before last night's rain. I prayed to it, piece of plastic. I know it sounds stupid, but if that sub pump works, my life all of a sudden becomes a lot easier because I travel a lot for work, and when I'm away, it's tough for her to shovel the basement. If there's tons of water, I can't just leave her here with a basement that's flooded. I remember last year that sucked. So having a solution was key this year for my peace of mind and for me to be able to work. I don't want to come down here, have a bunch of work to do, and then all of a sudden I'm cleaning up water. That's not productive for me. It's not productive for the people listening. It's not productive for anyone. So what I had to do was be proactive. I had to get ahead of the problem. That's what proactive means, Jeff. Sip my coffee. Last night, I know we've had a ton of rain. Floods, just awful. And last night, I don't know if there's floods this morning, but last night, maybe 2 hours of sleep. Tons of thunder.
Really?
You didn't hear that last night?
No, I was conked out, buddy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you do physical labor, though. That's different.
Yeah, I guess.
When I did physical labor, I slept the best. Like when I did landscaping, I slept like a baby. I could sleep through anything. But now, I don't, so I don't get the
You're
best
doing
sleep.
mental labor now.
Mental labor, sure. But last night, I got things running through my head. One, is that sub pump going to work? Mm-hmm. Two, is this thunder going to, stop? And three, is this lightning going to stop? None of those things happened. The rain kept coming. The thunder kept coming. The lightning kept coming. So my mind was racing. So what do? 2:30 in the morning, I run downstairs to check out the sub pump. Butt naked, not really, had a towel on. To check the sub pump. And behold, I open the door. You think you're opening the door to heaven, but really you're opening the door to the sub pump working. Play that clip now. And if you're listening, you're just going to have to go to our Instagram page and look at the clip there. I look at it and I have the most satisfaction I've had in a long time. There's things in my life that I've achieved, that I've accomplished, that I'm pretty proud of. But oddly enough, that sub pump is one of the more prouder moments that I've had in a long time. Like, it's up there. Growing up, I'm not I don't know how to fix a car. I'll admit it. I can barely change a tire on a car. I'm not the biggest grease monkey. I know how to work hard, but I need direction. Does that make sense? Like, I know how to, obviously, high button sports, I know what to do in every aspect. But in terms of like working with my hands, I'll admit, I'm not the best. But you give me direction on how to do it, I promise you I will get it done. But in terms of the sub pump, I had no direction. All I had was YouTube, my two hands, and my head.
And a guy on Instagram?
Well, it was multiple people on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, a bunch of people reached out and said, do the sub pump, do the sub pump. So, in my heart, I had my heart too. So all those things combined gave me the motivation to put in that sub pump. And last night, 2:30 in the morning, I opened that door and I heard it go wee, meaning the water's pumping out.
Yeah,
wee.
Yeah.
And I just sat there for a minute, butt naked, just looking at this thing, and I felt like a kid again. I just was so happy. It was working. My hard-earned sweat, blood. I did cut myself a little bit, so there was blood. Mm-hmm. No tears, but it was raining, so it might have looked like I was crying, but I did it. And if you've never experienced that moment, I hope that everyone listening, watching, whatever it may be, I hope that you get to experience this, because it was one of the most magical moments of my life. I manned up, dug 2 feet underground into Mother Nature herself, and put a piece of plastic in her, aka that sub pump. And it worked. It worked.
Yeah, man.
So that's, I don't know. I feel an inch taller today.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. For people wondering, as someone who works with Justin every day, talks to him, he is dead serious, man. If you would have sat down there in front of that door for an hour and watched that pump work, I would have believed you.
Oh, it's satisfying.
Yeah.
It has like this little floaty thing, and when the water comes up, it just burp, water goes out.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me. I'm reading the second David Goggins book right now, and in that he had a grandpa, and after school his grandpa would give him like a list of things to do every day, and he would just try to half-ass his way through it to get to the end so he could like play basketball with his friends or whatever. And then he said eventually something took over in his mind where him actually doing the task correct and delivering on it was like more satisfying than going out with his friends and everything. And it's just about seeing a job from start to finish, knowing you did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an addicting feeling. Like, you're probably going to want to do that again. Like, you're a homeowner. It's not going to be the last time you got to do some crap like that, right?
100%. And in my line of work, there's not a lot of completion. When I think of high button sports, it's like we're barely halfway through what we're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even say we're a quarter way through of what we're trying to do. So there's not really a lot of accomplishing here. There's little, oh, nice, we did this, we did that. But there's no like sense of accomplishment with this company. It's just head down, grind, horse blinders. Hopefully this happens. If not, we're going to keep working. So like I said, throughout my line of work and yours, there's just not a lot of sense of accomplishment in my day-to-day routine.
Yeah.
So to be able to have that sense of accomplishment of having a simple sub pump work at 2:30 in the morning during a rain, lightning, thunderstorm, hey, it's the little things, as they say. It's those little things that make your world go round and make my world go round. So it was a great little morning this morning, Monday, to just start off.